welcome to another episode of Filming Up the Nose with Jen, laying on her back on the bed and being lazy, and I feel like I live in this bed, I really do. It is 4:25 in the morning. Every time I manage to get to sleep between 9, 10, or 11, I'm back up by 3 something, so I've been up for over an hour. I was just checking out some of my videos and the editing, and I'm sorry, y'all. I done dipped on my lack of, my use of emojis and special effects, but if a video is giving me too much trouble to upload it, I'm just not doing it anymore. So I just want the video up. I don't want to have to fight with it. Still fighting with these. Still got this fighting with this because I got this peacock hair. I'm not sitting up right now because it would be like in the back right now. And like I said, it's 4 something in the morning. Still living on ice. I'm not gonna drive down the road and go get an Egg McMuffin right now, even though I kind of feel like I want one, but I just don't want to make that trek and fight the wolf pack. Thank you for those of y'all who acknowledge that there is a quota for those police officers out there, because I just was wondering. I'm like, what? They pull you over for one thing here in Florida. I think you swerved a little. No, I didn't. Did you hit that curb? No. Oh, well, I wasn't speeding. Let me check your tag. Let me check this. Let me check your license. Let me check your registration. Whatever they can write you up for. I don't think your brake lights are as bright as they should be. So thank you for those of y'all who acknowledged it, because they will try to find some reason to write a ticket for anything. So this video is going to be about how I ended up in jail for 52 days. 5-2. Alright, when you are on probation already, which pretty much every judge will give you in Florida as soon as you do any kind of traffic violation or whatever. My original violation actually wasn't for traffic. It was for me and Mom getting an argument. She shoved me. I didn't shove her. Then she called the police, told them that I shoved her, which was a lie, and they took me to jail. I could not come back home for 2.5 months. Alright, so I was on probation. This was a few years ago. And then probation is normally a year, so 12 months, but your girl's like, I'm gonna knock it out. I just did all my hours as much as I could because I make my own schedule since I work for myself. So I knocked out the probation and I was almost off. I mean, almost off. My mother, I ain't even gonna mind. She probably had something to do with it, but I'm just gonna say, it's the wolf pack. It wasn't my mother. The wolf pack is what I call the sheriff's department. Sorry, y'all. Because they're always out. Like, they congregate in a pack at Wawa in the back parking lot. And they all get the free coffee and meet up and park their cars side to side to side to side so they can talk to each other. And then they all just, like, disperse and just attack everybody. I almost got stopped by a motorcycle cop yesterday. Thank you, Jesus. 2 days ago. I'm sorry, not yesterday. He turned his lights on, pulled out from underneath a bridge, like an overpass, underneath the overpass, and then turned himself right back around. So I don't know what happened there, but thank you that I did not get another ticket, because I wasn't speeding, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Like I told you, they'll just pull out and they'll pull you over, and then they just try to find something. So just seems like they're on a mission every now and then. But anyway, here's how I ended up in jail for 52 days. If you're on probation, you can't do nothing. Nothing. And mind you, they're drug testing you, they're alcohol testing you, they're doing all this stuff. You can't drink, you can't do this, you can't do that. They got all kinds of rules depending on your probation here in Florida. So, because of Mom's incident, basically I was on probation for a felony battery on a person over 65. That's a serious charge. I was pissed. And this heifer wouldn't drop the charges and wouldn't act like she wanted to tell the real story. So I ended up out of the house for 2.5 months living in my car. Alright, well, let's fast forward to I went to my trial date finally, 2.5 months later, after living in my car, and I can't come back home. They let me come back home December 6th of that year. I walked back up in the house, used my key, opened the door, and she's like, "What are you doing here? Did you think I was going to Alcatraz? Do you think I was going away forever? You lied. I went to court, I did my hearing, and I got my little sentence. I went ahead and accepted misdemeanor probation because that's what we did the plea deal for, because there was no injuries on her. She had no injuries. I'm the one that had the marks on me, not her. I don't know what she even said when she called 911, because we had eight sheriff's cars show up in front of my house. This is a nice neighborhood. You don't even get one sheriff car show up usually. We had 8. It's my mother. Hateful. Anyway, Hateful Eight. I think that's a movie, isn't it? Anyway, so I'm minding my business, doing everything the court has asked me to do, because when you get in trouble here in Florida, they will send you to rehab. They will send you to drug court. They will send you to go do domestic violence classes. I did all of this stuff. I was literally leaving rehab, which, thank you, Phoenix House of Brandon, because so much cooler to deal with. So anyway, they sent me over there, and I did my whole 3 months. You got to do like 3 months there. Everything was stellar. All my tests were positive, not positive, but passed. Everything was good. Well, I was leaving there, and they do their classes in the evening, and it was at that time of the year where it gets dark early. So went into class at 6 o'clock, and don't get out until almost 9 o'clock. So it's dark. I had been up with my insomnia for 62 hours. I got pulled over by one of the wolf pack right as I was getting onto the interstate to go home. And I don't know, I might have been going to CNX. I don't know. It didn't matter. I was getting on the interstate to go. They pulled me over in front of an Outback on State Road 60, which is the main road here, and this fool was like, "You swerved." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I've been in the same lane the whole time." "Well, you were speeding." "No, I wasn't. I was actually doing lower than the speed limit because I've been up for 62 hours and I know better." "Well, I think you're under the effects of something." No, I'm not, because I just came from the state-ordered, county-ordered rehab center. You can call my counselor. Here's her number. I mean, he was just digging and digging and digging. Anyway, the point is, when you're already on probation, they can do what's called a VOP, violation of probation. So my tag, and I'm not going to lie, I just had surgery on my gallbladder at that time. So all of my money and my savings have been spent at the hospital. I could not afford to get my tag registered on time. So my tag was like 2 months overdue. He's like, "Oh, your tag's not registered. It's not current. You're going to jail." Yeah, I went to jail for 52 days. I went to 8 different hearings because 2 different counties decided to split my charges and try to drag me one way, the other way, this way, that way, the other way. I mean, every week I was going to jail. And when you go to jail here, medications are mandatory, first of all, and I have high blood pressure, clearly. Your medication gets dealt to you at about 4 a.m. If you want to eat breakfast, them lights come on, they start kicking bunks like you in the damn military, and they're like, "Get up!" And it's 4 o'clock in the morning. If you're going to go to court, they're going to get you up at 4 something in the morning. But you're not going to go to court and actually see the judge until like 9 o'clock, and it ain't that long of a drive, so I'm not clear why they feel the need to do that. Anyway, it's miserable. It is a miserable life. I ain't gonna lie. I became a ramen specialist. Especially if you don't have canteen. Canteen is when people send you packages that have like your candy, your ramen, your macaroni, whatever, your soups, all that stuff in there. Because otherwise, you just got to eat the jail food. They are gonna feed you 3 times a day, but it's gonna be 4 o'clock in the morning. You're gonna get a bologna sandwich. I'm not lying. A bologna sandwich. That's what you get every afternoon. And then you can have dinner around 5 o'clock at night. And it's going to be some unidentifiable substance that's made with bologna. And you're not going to get fed again until over almost 12 hours later. It's miserable. So I will give props to Mr. JC because he did pop up in there and help me out because you can't even make phone calls. In Florida, you got to have money on your band. That's what they call it, the band that you have to wear on your wrist. You got to have money on your band to even be able to call home, talk to your children, make a phone call to your mother, your father, whoever. It's ridiculous. And then on top of that, they're going to charge you like a $40 fee that gets tacked on and just sits there that you're supposed to pay before you get out because they arrested you. I didn't ask you to come arrest me. Anyway, that got me a second set of probation, but I had to spend 52 days in jail before I could get out and just start doing the second probation. And that would be, if y'all see my old videos, the second probation is the one that I was doing at the, let me think, the first one was at the church, second one was at the rec center. So that would be the one that I was doing all those rec center videos. Yeah, jail ain't no joke, y'all. Watch out for the wolf pack.